Anytime.
Minutes.
Why? You need one right over here. If you're not there, just
Start video.
Wait, everybody, quiet, go say a word.
one.
And we'll have trustee Joe lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
All right, we have our monthly reports available for anyone in the public that sees fit to grab one. We'll start with the approval of the minutes from a regular meeting on May 15th and a special meeting on May 30th. Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Changing things up a bit.
That's what give me that look.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Yes, the mayor votes aye. We got a letter by someone who's upset about the changing of the school mascot. Judge Brian Rickenbach asked if we would consider renaming a street in the village. What did he say? Warrior Way
Yes,
or something like that?
that's what he had
That's what he had
mentioned.
mentioned?
It was he was looking to change Canada Street.
Yeah, it's a state highway limit. We can't do that. I don't know if there's any interest by the board to entertain anything like that. I mean, we can think about it, and then if you guys,
Street.
that's what go ahead.
Well,
The only possibility would be School Street. That's
The
their
little
street,
one
where I
on
live.
your list. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. If we did
That's their street.
entertain that, then maybe as a piece of history, we would think about it, but we can think about it for
It's fine.
another month if we wanted to.
Yeah, my mailing address is Ottawa Street, but so you'd have to ask Chris and Dan Malone.
Right.
And Robert's.
Robert
they're the only
and
ones that have
Tony.
There's Chris and Dan Malone, you don't even have a mailing.
Okay, because theirs is where the gate is, or
Because they,
by
It's
the water.
weird. So the people behind them, they have an entrance from.
Right by the water department.
because they're landlocked.
Yeah.
Chris and Dan are technically landlocked too.
Okay.
No, they're not, because they have a strip of lane that goes down, but they never constructed a drive.
Okay.
Roberts did, so they're the only ones that. Well, maybe that's what they like.
I'm not sure who's the other house across the street from you that Vinny bought.
Their address, it hasn't been sold yet, but their address is Ottawa Street.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is, they use School Street.
Yeah.
I can't swear to that, but I'm
Okay.
pretty sure it is.
Well,
Ottawa
it's
Street.
only the malls or School Street.
Okay.
Yeah, based off of all the records I've looked.
Okay. Well, we'll think about it. We don't have to answer today, but I'm not completely ruling it out, but also I'm not jumping on the bandwagon.
Yeah, okay.
Renaming streets anytime somebody does something I like.
But they're still coming up with a decision on a new name.
They-
Use the new name.
The 28th is the deadline for people to put in, you can go online and the school website has a link to it. So last I saw was like 47.5% wanted Lakers,
Yeah.
47.4% wanted something new, and then like 3% wanted Georgia. Which, that's the latest update that I read today. Yeah, it's kind of complicated because, I mean, what's a warrior defined as, but the way the state interprets it is if the indigenous Americans were ever used, it is a reflection of a warrior in the history of the school, then they would have to get rid of the name as well as the mascot. So that's how the state did it, and that's not ours to decide.
Nope.
But moving on, let's take it up again next month. We'll have some time to do some research and see what the Malellas think and if there's any other folks on there.
So we did Rob.
Okay. And then second on the correspondence, gentleman wrote us, he wanted us to put some signs up to tell you how hot asphalt is for the protection of dogs' feet. I don't know how the village board feels about that. I don't see it as necessary.
What was the temperatures?
You know, I'm not sure how accurate that is. It says
Due to the
77,
changes in the weather.
it's 125 degrees. It's 86 degrees, says 135. Okay. And at 87, or is it a 97? 87, it's 143. I'm not sure where they're getting that information from. If it's completely accurate, it might be, but
I think that's what we probably have to check if we wanted to do that, right? Is the
Is-
information accurate?
is that true? Right.
And then I guess are we accepting responsibility for the appearance of speed?
Yes, I
To
don't
put up
want
a
to touch
sign,
that
what
one.
does that?
Mhm. And this could also depend on what temperate zone you're in. Because the further south you get, the hotter the sun is, in direct sunlight. So I'm not sure that I want to even approach this
The
subject.
sidewalk temperatures are gonna be lower on concrete than on
And
asphalt.
on asphalt. Why would we want to take responsibility for anything like that?
Plus the cost of the signs, I guess.
We can reply no, thank you, but we appreciate his concerns for our four-legged friends. So that's okay, I'll respond.
Yeah, there's a little responsibility. Put up the sign.
Right, if we say that it's admission that we know it's too hot for them. I was just looking up. I just noticed a drip on my shoulder. Okay, a request to approve training for,
These are all the resolutions to consider.
no, I'm still on. Just
Training.
correspondence.
Okay.
For Julie to attend, Nikon's fall training school. And is that why we would need to move the?
Yeah, that's why I was asking is I would like to go to this training. It's a very good, it's very thorough. Training is where you go, you're there for 5 days and you stay.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's up in Lake Placid. And pick what classes you want. But the problem is it goes from the 18th to the 22nd, which happens to be during our normal board meeting. So I'm requesting,
Do we have someone that could cover a board meeting for you? if we-
Janae can do it.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do. If you don't want, if you don't want to wait or do it the week before, we can always have Janae do it. That's why she's my backup.
Yeah, so I thought that we had that in place. Well, let's wait until we get a little closer to reschedule a board meeting, but I'll make a motion to approve the training.
I don't have the amounts yet because it's so beginning.
Is that in conjunction with the normal fall training for Nikon?
Yes, this is
So-
the normal fall training for like.
But if I wouldn't be there for 5 days, I would probably just.
Well, it depends what you're gonna take. Generally
take classes
speaking,
all day
yeah,
long
you can
if you
take,
wanted to.
yeah, you can take one, you can go 1 day or 5 days, but I would wanna be there for 5 days. There's gonna be enough class. Right. Right, and there's different training as well. There's elected officials training classes, which is at a different time than this one. And then there'll be some classes at this point, like I said, there's no agenda yet, there's nothing. I don't have to- It is very early. I just wanted to put it in front of you guys. Point that I'm looking at doing.
Would it be good to like talk to Janae and ask her, because if she's there understudy? It's later.
Well, I mean, I know she knows how to do it.
Okay.
She did it for 17 years.
Yeah, she was in the village clerk herself, that's all, yeah.
We're in September, so.
You can set it on a lump and sheet.
Yeah. All right, so is that, I made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
That trustee Joe, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yes, have it.
I'm sure you're this way. They can talk, right? There should be this. Something there.
Mhm. No, you don't have to.
That's what I meant. Sure.
Yes, you hear dogs barking in the background. Okay, so we have some resolutions to consider, 7 of them. We want to transfer 6,000 from shade trees to beautification. That was a error in the budget. We needed some hand tools and protective equipment like gloves and such, and it wasn't, it was put in shade trees instead of beautification. So we just want to transfer that from one to the other. Intermunicipal agreements with the town. This one looks like it came from March, which predates me. Just an agreement between sharing expenses of certain special events that we do. with the town, have done for years. The other is an intermunicipal agreement for our shared service from our beautification crew taking care of the Gateway project in exchange for the town running the lifeguards and employing them on our beach as well as there too. And then intermunicipal agreement for some studies that we have a downtown revitalization, the DRI. Our share would be 10,000. Workforce housing study is 10,000. And the water capacity study would mute that 20,000 out, which is the town would owe us 20,000. We owe them 20,000, so it's washing them out. But we wanted to capture it in this shared service agreement.
Just to let you guys know, basically what these all are is the updates that Dan has been working on since the shared summer. So that's basically what they are. Is all the new updates.
Yeah, there's a few. Well, we also what's this other lease agreement? This is our docs. Is the docs in here twice? I feel like it's in here twice.
No, I think that Lisa.
No, docs is in there again. We're gonna put it as law. But
Oh,
this is the
okay,
lease agreement.
okay, that's right, that's what I'm thinking. So this is the lease agreement that we have with the town for $1 for our 2 docks for the floating classroom, the sheriff's department as well, or the LCBA, as well as the fireboat. It's just a renewal. I think it's a 2-year, no, 5-year lease. So the total of $5 is the end of the lease, and we get all the dots. Hey, okay. So that's that renewal. Our Shepherd Park pump station generators control is defunct, and there is no replacement. Well, there's a replacement for it, which if it goes the way it is and doesn't back up power, then we could have a potential disaster with with the pump station. That's $37,000. I talked to Tim. We had a line item in his budget of $50,000 for blacktop up at the plant. It's not completely necessary that we put the blacktop in. It's more important to Tim, and Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, that we get the generator upgraded to a safe status. So we have the money. We don't have to move it anywhere. We're just going to reallocate it to this rather than paving. So the first couple of days of the budget, we had a crisis immediately.
Always the way it is.
It needs to be Tim.
So Tim's on a short leash. I told him earlier.
It's every year. Yeah.
Let's see, permission to, oh yeah, we want to have permission to get rid of the old McKay meters, the pay and displays. All of the good parts have been taken from them. Now they're just basically scrap metal. We just want to. I don't even think we can surplus them. We're just going to sell them.
No, it's
We're gonna
great.
do a scrap surplus and
Yeah.
There's nothing, there's no guts.
And I think let's skip this one. And Jose's probably going to recuse himself.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that one separately. The Battlefield Park Alliance membership dues. I think we give them $100 or $200, not too much. And they're just getting on their feet. So I think they just hired someone with a grant money. So I make it, well, we'll take them all. And then the wastewater treatment capital payment projects for, who is it? Uline, Hatch, Skilsing Electric, and Blue Heron are among the vendors that we're looking to get paid.
well, they're
So-
just the ones that,
That
That's-
submitted invoices.
well, they're not, we don't actually have any invoices. This is a generic.
Oh, okay.
Basically, if we get one before
Before the
we
next
just
one.
need, I
Yeah.
think we just need permission to pay. And at this point, I don't think there is actually. we can compare.
So I'll take those 6.
Holding out the authorization.
Yes, holding out the authorization of encroachment. So anyone on the board can make a motion for those 6.
So moved.
Is there a second?
One second.
Joe, beat you to it. All those in favor say aye.
I was just counting. We took 1 or 2 out.
We took one out.
This one.
Then there's seven. Sorry.
That's,
Well,
I just want to
did we
make
bring up
sure.
The golf cart?
No.
No,
Is that
that's
supposed to be
why.
in there?
Yeah, the golf cart
Okay.
one, that's why.
Okay, well, we'll take that as separately too, because that's just a quick conversation. There's 7 here, so we
Yeah.
have 6 without the golf cart. So this is a license to encroach, the beach
Did we
club.
have a vote on
No, we got a second.
All those
We
in
got-
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
it? Okay.
Alright. You don't have to leave it, just sit there and don't say anything. The beach club has had a somewhat of a, I don't know if it was a handshake agreement from the nineties to encroach onto lower Montcalm Street. Very similar to what we did with John Carr on Sewell Street. It encompasses less space. John Carr's is $500 a year. This is less than half, so I propose that we do a license to encroach for $250 a year. For 5 years, renegotiation can happen after 5 years. It's just kind of cleans it up, makes it, it neatens it up. Like we did with Adirondack Pub and Brewery, so.
That was my only question, is it how it compares to that?
Yeah, it's size wise, it's only like 2 or 4 feet by like 30 feet or 40 feet, something like that, whereas John's was about 30 by almost 100.
Plus, he's on a well-traveled street. too.
Yeah.
That was a little different circumstance for that.
Yeah.
This is primarily pedestrian thoroughfare.
Mhm. So I'll take a motion to approve.
And it's just what we already paid.
Right,
So
no bigger,
we're
no
not missing
smaller,
anything.
right?
But John was actually came out.
Yeah, he put some permanent, well, there's a permanent structure on this already.
Yeah.
So
No,
it's not
I'm
getting
saying
any
when John
bigger.
came out into the street and built up that.
He added way, yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the, resolution to authorize the encroachment.
Okay, is there a second? Seconded by trustee Miller. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And you recuse yourself,
You recuse
Okay.
yourself, right?
you recuse yourself? Okay.
I didn't know how
Yeah.
So it's on that street.
Let's take the golf cart, get it out of the way. We need a golf cart. Julie found us a golf cart.
Is that going into beautifications or is that just?
It's actually gonna come out of parks,
Okay.
because that's what it's mostly used for, is running toilet paper, cleaning toilet, you
Well,
know.
I was just looking at your. No, that's why I was,
So
that's why I wasn't sure where it was gonna go.
Oh, what, no.
Right there, golf cart.
Oh, yeah, no, I just set it up there because I needed a place. to
needed
put
to add
it. Yeah,
to,
okay.
so I'll make a motion to approve this purchase of the 2018 Yamaha golf cart.
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Joe. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Mayor votes aye. Motion's carried. We hired a new employee, Xavier Shaw. I interviewed him. He seems quite eager. He's replacing, I don't think I remember his name.
Marcus.
Marcus, probably wasn't gonna have to remember his name. He didn't work out, so we found a replacement for our park attendant at nights. Making sure that the bathrooms are clean and second chance people are helping him work out, keep the park clean, keep the bathrooms clean and supplied. I believe he started, right?
Pardon me.
Did he
Yes,
start?
yes,
Yeah.
he did, yep.
So I'll take that motion. Is there a second?
I'm sorry, I just wanted, full-time employee or just
Full-time.
temporary,
Full-time, full-time.
then it's the winter also,
Pardon me?
also through the winter.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I was just.
He
wondering.
actually was
Where we started.
took the place of a former employee as well. that
Took the
worked
place
at-
of someone we let go.
And he was at that price too. Employee that left.
It's a little less, I think, than the former.
Well, our
employee.
standard, non-CDL wages now is $20.
Oh,
For
okay.
full-time.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, I thought, okay,
Okay, so we have a
CDL.
motion by John.
yeah, I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Approved. We have a new membership request from the fire department.
Two.
Is there two? Yeah, I thought that, because I was reading through it yesterday. There's a Thomas Lincoln and Bill Lidori Jr. Is that, Jason's father? You know?
Jay's brother,
Oh, Dave's brother. Okay.
which, yeah, I don't know the father's name, so.
Bill.
Bill, okay.
That's why I was asking. I didn't know if he was a junior, but, well, since you're here, do you have a recommendation on these two?
I think fine. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Motion to approve them, provided they pass any physical tests. As the fire department sees fit to give them.
The requirements, yeah, I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, oh yeah, we got an email with the internet at the fire department. It went up $100. From 127.97 to 227.97. I know the security system and the cameras that they put in do need faster internet than what they have there. So it's not like they're using it for Netflix. It does have a purpose.
Well, everything went, now that all of the doors are wireless,
Yeah.
everything, you know, everything's wireless now.
Fob entry, and they just put up some cameras for the security of the interior and as well as the exterior of the building. I'll take a motion. Motion to approve, second.
Second.
Hannah, you got Jose got in there first. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion's carried. Okay, so now the docs. In our local law, we mentioned the price, and we're gonna try to get away from that, because if we're gonna change pricing moving forward, we don't have to change our local law. So we're gonna what we have to do is set a public hearing to change the verbiage of the law. But if we, moving forward, establish a fee schedule, which is the second page is an example from Southland laws. Ours will be completely different, but we can just change the fee schedule.
Okay.
Oh, no? Here.
Yeah, this is just an example. Basically, what they do is they have like an index,
Mhm.
and anything that has a fee that's set with it, that's in the law book, would now have a page that says, okay, here's your fee. And what you can do is once a year, when you do your annual, or as many times as you want to, you can just update this with a resolution instead of having to do local laws and changing local laws every time, because it's just for literally changing a $3 fee to a $5 fee, which you guys already approved at the last meeting.
Yeah.
We now have to go and change the local law and go through all of the notice to the public and everything else, which people would still get notice to the public, but it just wouldn't have to be an ad in the paper.
Yeah, it's not as.
So the next time you want to change the fees, it'll still be, we'll talk about it here, but it's a resolution.
And our law book is very big, so it's gonna take a long time for us to do it, and to do all of them all at once would cost us literally like 15 grand. So we're not looking at doing that. We're gonna do them as the law changes. We'll add it, we'll change it individually.
So I will make a motion to set the public hearing for July 17th. And we'll work on a fee schedule moving forward. Do I have a second? Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion's carried. Public hearing. will be set. Devin A. Myers is our part-time planning and zoning clerk. She can be kept busier and actually get all of her work done if she had 40 hours to do it. We have the money, we found the money between the difference of Julie and Deb's salary.
No,
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 not that much.
no, the money is actually gonna come from the money that we originally had allocated for the visitor center,
Okay.
for the paint job, which we've already paid
Oh,
for.
since we paid for it out of last.
So we're
yeah,
just gonna take like $10,000, you know, that would more than cover the difference. If you guys so approve.
Yeah, she provided me with this list of duties that she provides, and there's no doubt about it.
Goes on and on.
Goes on and on.
Yeah.
She's a busy beaver.
And just so you guys know, I had actually approached the mayor and asked him if he would consider letting us bring it up at a meeting, because I would really I wanted her to become full-time. And in the meantime, she had presented us, or, you know, a couple days later, she had presented us with this, asking for it as well, so.
Plus the town's trying to poach her.
Yeah.
We can't let that happen. Yeah, she made a good argument. Convinced me. So, I'll take a motion.
Make the motion to approve.
Okay, second,
I'll second that.
second by Jose. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
There goes aye. Welcome aboard. We had just a change to our handbook. Julie had brought it to my attention. I don't know why it was like this, but you don't get a day off until you're here for a year. Full-time employee does not get a day off until they're here for a year. Now, that's a little difficult.
Should probably shut it off. But
It seems like that's a bit of archaic, maybe even Orwellian. I think 6 months is better. Like take Julie, for example, she has to get,
A year before she.
she hasn't been here a year yet, it's September. She got a tooth that needs. to be
Right,
pulled.
and
She's stuck
We
here.
do that here.
You're on your way.
We do
into it.
that.
well, and what I was recommending is not necessarily changing the time off for vacation. Keeping that at 1 year, getting your vacation time after your 1 year, but changing the sick leave and personal time to being 6 months. So basically,
We
you
don't
have,
have just PTO.
instead of making them wait a full year for the 6 months, and the reason I'm actually doing is it's because of Devaney. If she was, you know, once you guys approved her, I was like, well, she's been here full time for well over a year. And I don't want to make her have to start from the scratch, because that's the way it's written right now. She wouldn't be able to get any vacation time for another whole year, or any time off for another year.
Yeah.
And like I said, it is hard. I'm fortunate because I can do some comp time because I work extra hours. So if I have to go to the doctors, I can use that time that I have banked, but she would have no way of doing that.
Like her being here tonight.
And
It's a good
any other
comp.
employee that's normal, here's your scheduled hours, there's really not a lot of time because we don't really do a lot of overtime.
You don't want somebody to make a choice between your health and.
Right.
Right.
and-
Exactly, good
and
point.
their job.
Well,
You
Can
know,
we,
most people don't take the days worth of pay and not pay attention to
can we apply to that system where you accrue time PTO based on the hours worked?
Oh, we could. if
You
we
can,
so
it's,
desire.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot more
Because-
involved in doing that.
Because
and
then you
there's-
think, but at least this way, all right, you know, you work your 8 hours, you work a month. You gotta take 3 hours off, you can't take the 3 hours off because you don't have time.
Yeah, well, we're not looking to overhaul the whole system.
No,
We're
but it's
kind of just
not-
making it a little more fair to.
How do you guys get your, like, looks like if you're here for 1 year, you get 2 weeks off. Is it just as soon as you get here for 1 year, you're handed 2 weeks? of
No,
hours, Or is
like,
it like?
I don't get
after-
anything at all.
Well, after a year.
Once a year, yes, then once I hit my 1 year mark, I'll be handed my 2 weeks.
Cause I'm wondering, at my job, the 6 month is standard, but then at 6 months, it's even 6 months for vacation time. We're not handed 2 weeks right away. We're handed so many hours for however many hours we work.
It's done.
And I don't know if you guys would like that better, instead of waiting a year to take 2 weeks. At 6 months, you guys get your time off, like you get so much time, so many hours every paycheck. So that
That's
way,
what Jim
That's what I-
yeah, very similar to that.
I just wanna explain something that happened
Yeah.
at my last place,
Yeah.
because they decided mid-year to change it to a PTO kind of thing where you accrue your hours.
Yeah.
Instead of getting it handed, we used to get it handed to us on our anniversary. So I worked there for 10 years. And I would get my hours in June. In the middle of the year, slightly before June, they decided to change it so that everybody gets their accrued hours January 1st. That meant from June to July, I didn't get any time. I was supposed to have been handed my time from June to July. But because they changed the policy mid-year, it changed everything that I had, so
Right.
I'm afraid that if you change
Now,
accrual now, like Denise, who already has all of her time, how does she get any more time? You know what I'm saying? Does she, instead of having to wait till, she may be up for her next, another 2 weeks in a month.
when is the
if
beginning
you-
of our year?
Well, see, that's
Anniversary
Yeah.
day.
June
Based on
1st is
your
our
This
our
is
annual
based on
year.
their anniversary date. of
But
when
this
they
is on
started. They just started.
anniversary.
He started in September.
I feel like it's on. I guess, I don't know if that's something you guys want to talk about and just see, because I would say like 6 months not to be able to take any vacation, that's kind of challenging. I would
Well,
think,
like I said, that's why I'm asking
For
6
the-
months
for
for
the sick
personal,
leave.
just getting your 6
At
days
least
of,
get the
or
sick
your 3
leave and the
days and your
personal
6
time.
days, so you get 9 days.
Yeah,
Because you can take 3 days, you can take your personal time as vacation.
but is that something you guys could discuss, maybe getting it, like Joe had said?
Doing it as a PTO.
Discuss-
Well,
And
it's
see
just-
see what everyone says, because that way, if you hire a new employee, they're not waiting a whole year to take a day off, to have vacation. Because I mean, in my job, it's 6 months, and I know therapists are like biting to like go and take their vacation. They're tired, they want a day to just go and relax, and I'm sure most people do, so.
Yeah, I don't know.
All jobs like that, there's a burnout rate, for sure.
I mean, I can understand the situation, maybe we could figure something out for people that hired, or maybe his hires. We could stipulate that into,
Well, we'll see what the existing employees want to do first before we go.
well, I don't want to take anything away from them, where
Right.
it's like, now it's like, as of January 1st, you have no time. And now you're gonna start doing my.
No.
But maybe. Because they already have all their stuff. There,
They're already planned for the
but
year.
maybe any new hires, so they don't have to wait so long, you can start.
I mean, we can also, it's kind of a discussion with Denise is gonna be, I think, we're gonna have to speak with, to see how difficult it would be for her to just do an approval from the day that the person begins to versus,
Your
An anniversary
You have
here.
to change it on their anniversary, so
Right.
you have some people in the old system.
Right, well,
some people in the
that's-
new system,
And
right?
Gotta keep in mind too, there's employees and people, they use it as fast as they get it.
yeah,
So.
Yes.
and if they're still
well,
new
and
to
it
the
creates,
job. You
it
don't.
does create a problem. I can vouch for this when, say you wanna, or say the anniversary date is January 1st or whatever. And you wanna take a vacation in February. Well, I haven't accrued anywhere near the amount of time. How do you address those kind of situations?
Yeah, at least this way they're getting 9 days in 6 months,
Yeah,
no matter how they use it.
right. I think that's
We would
more
prefer
appropriate.
people to take their
Employees like
vacation.
that better, and that's, you guys like that better, that's fine.
I mean, I know stewards, you don't get any benefits part-time until 6 months.
Yeah,
Well, benefits is, yeah.
But that's also your vacation sick, that doesn't go, so they know you're there because you don't want to hire someone a month and say, all right, you handed 4 days.
Right.
I'm getting extra day off every week. I'm not gonna, but I mean, I'd be okay with the 6 months to try to work up for the personal time and.
Right, like I
Is
said,
that a
I
motion?
was,
Let's move this along.
Yeah, that's the motion.
Okay,
Well, I just,
I'll second it.
trying to cover all aspects and try to be fair with everyone.
yeah, all those in favor? Aye.
okay, can I just,
You'll
so we're
clarify
gonna
it?
change,
You're
yes.
gonna change just as you suggested.
Okay, so we'll keep vacation at
Vacation at a
your
year. and then
annual and then 6 months for the personal time and
Is that true for current employees? So I have a couple there kind of in between.
well, I would say effective immediately all. Yes, and that's the other thing, effective immediately.
Did I miss this? You like that, right?
I'm great.
Thank you. So in between, I have the fence quote.
That's the Lake Avenue update.
Oh, I don't have
That's
that on this. Oh, you know what? I had 2 copies of this. One is probably older than the other. This one was from last week. That's the only thing that changed.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, that's your old one.
Okay, so Lake Avenue update, I acquired a quote from AFSCO Fence for a card reader or key fob reader for Lake Avenue Park. It's a lot of money. It's $13,300 to put, to join the 21st century. This will have a camera, and you'll be able to count how many times people have been in and out of but the camera itself, for me, is a bit convincing, only because it's a safety issue down there. It's kind of out of the way. We all have taken our tours down there, and you know, there's some shady characters around. It's motion detected, the camera. Keith Bob would either just tap it and they have 4 seconds to go in. But it's also $13,000, and I kind of wanted to see it. I want to get other quotes. I was only able to acquire one. Well, another guy ghosted us and never came back to give us a quote. So I was kind of limited. But if this is like kind of what we're looking at, is this something that we want to spend? It'll probably pay for itself through membership in 2 years. So true. God bless you. So it's something to consider. We got 50 people at $100 to $150, like I had showed you guys the application. 2 years would probably, between town and village memberships, would probably cover it. I just don't know if that's how we want to spend that kind of money.
Is this the company that did
They installed the fence that's down there. No, the company that did it for the town is the guy that ghosted us. I don't want to mention his name because we're recording, but he came by, measured everything, told me he was going to put together a price, and then never returned our calls. He's tried him, I tried him. So I don't understand why something could have gone wrong. But
My skater vendor might be able to give you a price on that as well.
yeah, is that what's his name? Dominic?
Comic, yeah.
Dominic, yeah, maybe he could give us a price. So, and then, you know, don't tell him how much this is, but
No, absolutely.
I just kind of want to, I think it's a higher number than I thought. I was thinking 8, 7, 8 for the whole kit and caboodle, but they do have a good plan to take one gate and make it a fixed panel, but removable for in case we have to, because it's a 10-foot opening. So make it wide enough for us to get our bobcat in there, in case we got to do some more work with the trees and the boulders and such. So I mean, I'm sure it would work out just fine, but I think we should probably try to shop around a little bit.
You
This
have
is
a date,
awesome.
What's that?
you have a date in mind for completion or?
I wanted it to be done by the 1st of July, but we're gonna go back to the key system like we had before, starting tomorrow, if you guys are good with it. Anybody who had a key before can come get their key back and pay their yearly fee on July 1st or by July 1st. It's just not working out with the public. Having a free reign. No, it's not working out.
Is there a camera there now?
There is not.
There's not.
We don't have any internet down there right now. I was thinking of even putting a dummy camera up just to,
Well, could we just put up on this camera,
we could put a game
battery.
cam up or something like
like
that.
just, motions?
Yeah, they don't store much, but
Yeah, just stills.
yeah,
But if you just look at someone that's walking.
but that doesn't solve the key issue.
Doesn't solve the key issue.
Yeah.
But why don't I try Tim's recommendation and I'll shop around, see if I can get somebody else to give us a price on that. So I just think that while it's a very good system, that the company becomes highly regarded as far as quality goes. I just think it's a bit more than, we didn't budget for it, so there's no way to.
Is it the same key system that could be used like the firehouse uses?
Yeah.
Is it the same company that,
I don't, no, that's an interior door. This is just a magnetic gate lock.
yeah, but they might have. 'cause
It
I
could
know
be the.
EMS or just EMS and to get in the office, they use the key
Mhm.
slot to get into the office, so it's
Yeah, you guys have key fobs, right? To get in?
the fire.
Yes.
Do you guys know the company that
I do.
Stolen.
you do? She does. Okay, we're gonna reach out to them
She
too.
does.
Are
All
we
right.
still doing like fobs instead of like bars?
Yeah, I was gonna let the board decide that. I think everybody's always got their keys with them because most of the time you're driving to that park. So it would be handy to have it in the key fob. I didn't want to do, I don't know. I didn't want to do, more than one per family.
Mhm.
It's like just do one key fob or card per family. And, you know, that's, I didn't want to charge an exorbitant amount for admission or membership, you know, so if you're 4 members of your family, and you're all gonna be using it. I don't want to charge $400 for village residents. Or, you know, $700 for town residents, but, so that's where I was thinking. I thought a key fob, it was suggested by this gentleman that the key fob would be more handy because it would be attached to your key ring. But it's up for discussion. I'm fine either way.
And then cost too. Cost.
Yeah, they're about the same.
Are they?
Yeah, he said we'll provide you with whatever you want. They're like $3 a piece. 3 to 5 or something like that.
We're gonna go back to the keys then right now.
Yes.
So people aren't
So people,
self-managing that site.
yes, actually, no management. whatsoever.
Right.
What's been happening down there? That's.
I'm not smoking, to be honest with
That
you.
was going on.
Yeah.
Kids, Adults and
Yeah,
kids.
adults and kids,
Children of all ages.
children of
Well-
all ages. So let's circle back on this in July. Hopefully we'll have something by then and no action needs to be taken. Take the water changes, transfers and audits. Got some final reads. Couple payroll checks were voided and reissued. There was a string of them that just got mistakenly made, but they're all. They wiped themselves out and got recalculated. So I'll take a motion for both water changes and transfers and audits.
Make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second. By trustee Roots. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Mayor votes aye. Okay, not bad. We're doing all right. Good for time. Keith, you got anything?
Yeah, just a quick update on the chemical secondary containment pad at the water plant. We're complete there. We're just waiting for our engineer from Labella to come and they have to do upgrade the mapping because we had to add some drainage pipe and stuff like that. So that'll be, it was due to be redone anyway, so it kind of fit into our schedule pretty well. So we're just waiting back for the response from them, when they're gonna come up and finalize everything with us.
Does the state have to inspect them as well?
Well, DEC has been notified for everything we've been doing so far, so they're certainly getting notification as well, probably from Labella.
Okay.
They'll make their own determination when they want to come and do an inspection.
Okay.
Yep.
One
more thing. And see the one sheet here with the steam pressure washing the firehouse. Was there any quotes associated with this, or is that because it says at the bottom of this that he's going to submit for a voucher for this cleaning, and it was that's
Yes, I have a quote from
you
them.
do have, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they had actually gotten the quote from them back before they did the budget.
Oh, okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's in their budget. Yeah.
good, thank you.
Okay. Good.
Good.
All right. Tim, you got anything?
The yard delivery system for the SPR has been completed. The modifications for that, the programming and the mechanical changes. We really won't know how effective that is until kids get out of school, 4th of July weekend. Will be a good test for it. Hopefully it all works well. I'm gonna be sending you emails here shortly with some updated safety policies instead of waiting for the next board meeting, hopefully to get those approved. Conducted some sexual harassment training last week, the required sexual harassment training. We got that completed. We needed updated policy for that as well. So that'll probably be the first one I send you by tomorrow or the day after.
We just changed it?
In the handbook we did that.
Yes. Okay.
Working on that. We spent quite a bit of time assisting the town. They started their upgrades to their pump stations. So we spent quite a bit of time in the last few weeks assisting them in that as well.
Okay. Gentlemen from the fire department, do you have anything you'd like to bring to our attention?
I need to apologize for my phone going off in the middle of your meeting. I'd like to thank the village for being progressive with the cameras, external and internal. And the other question that I had was, we've got a building on a piece of village property in the back of the fire station that for years we've had $1 a year lease. Wondering what the condition of that is. Probably nobody here was around when that was going on. And when I was treasurer, I used to pay 5 years at a time every year. So we may be wildly paid up and overpaid. But I guess I just need to ask the stupid question only because the encroachment fees and that came up during your meeting. Did it even ring a bell with me? So I didn't come in with the idea of asking this question, but I probably should. If somebody
We
can
can look
do some
into it.
investigating.
Ask the mayor too, if he remembers.
Yeah, it
John
just-
Earl might remember too. He's a good source of
I
information.
figured I better not lose the information.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trustee Root.
Actually, I wasn't, had everything in mind, but then Tim got me triggered on something. We used to get a running total of parking.
Got it.
That's the other attachment that's in there.
Oh,
It's separate. It's in your, no, in your board documents.
in here.
It's in
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
And I did it totally separate because it's such a long spreadsheet. So I did it separate
This
from it.
was, well, yeah, we've been getting them, I've been getting them monthly, but,
How's it look?
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, May was, let's see, 85,000 almost. Compared to, well, the year prior, we didn't leave the paying displays out.
Oh,
So it last year fails in comparison to this year. I want to change some of the headings on here because they have coins and cash, and now that we take credit cards, we have a separate line for credit cards on the side instead of the column. It is confusing, right? So we're gonna make some reparations to that, but this will have to get you last year's total, I think. It was not listed on that one.
yeah,
I don't know
it's
what
just
she does.
Yeah.
1 month's worth.
This is the month of May, yeah. 2 collections, the 15th and then the 30th. And the credit cards, we don't have to collect that because they're in the ether. But it's a lot. And unexpected. So between November and April, we made $95,000. And just in the month of May, we got 10 grand shy of that. It's been busy. There've been a lot of people.
That would buy some key fobs.
They'll buy some. Yeah, exactly. Worst comes to worst, we could use it for some other things. And there's a bit of selfishness in the on the village board's part with the cameras. Because I had said to Chief, I love a camera at every intersection. He's like, "You got it, Mayor." So we're kind of monitoring the streets as well, though. But no, we appreciate the effort by the fire department as well. Oh, that good? Anything else?
I'll give this back.
Sure.
But
No, it's just one of,
Yeah, I did them 2 separate.
so the
because I
lines got
can't
painted on
scan.
that sidewalk coming down Allen Street. That's nice. 'Cause hopefully 4th of July will, I think it's.
Yeah.
I think John has has the contention of putting some signs there too, maybe no parking this side, maybe some.
But no, it's definitely for you to question, you still have to drive around that corner.
Yeah,
Americade, how did we fare to Americade? Was it okay? Do we hear?
Yeah,
Yes, it was good. We saw
was-
more parking passes. than we
Yeah,
ever
more.
have.
a lot more parking passes than normal. Well, what happened this year was Americade themselves came to us and they said, hey, can we just buy them in advance and then we'll hand them out in our welcome packets. So they originally started with like 1,000, and then they came back and they're like, okay, we need another 200, and then they came back like 3 more times. And so when I had asked for them being able to return them, I don't think they're gonna need to return anything. So, I mean, it looked like our numbers were down, that we were selling at the ticket, booths, but
It's because they were.
when you get
Paper
looked at the
packets.
total for everything afterwards, we sold a lot more.
Jose, anything?
During a bike week, I want to bring it up. I'm really happy for you couldn't drive more than 2 blocks back there without running into a Warren County SUV or patrol car.
Yeah.
We had a great police presence throughout the village. Not rowdy from what I saw at all. It was, as far as that goes, it was one of the more organized ones in 8 years I've been here. No issues, no one, literally, I saw a sheriff every time I turned a corner.
Yeah. Hats off to the sheriff department and Jim LaFar for the extra care that we received and attention during American. Good point.
And the streets guys also, I pay attention to trash on the street now. It's a bad habit I learned from Ray. You always stare at the street as you walk and you pick trash up. No, really good job. I look at the weekends. It's really tough. It's not an easy job. It's on the record. We have 101 trash cans. Trash can can be empty. Trash ends up on the ground every single time. So, it's everyone's job to do it, but you guys out there at 6, 7, 8 in the morning, pickup trucks full for the first round, then the second round, and the third round, all weekend long. And the new guy in the bathroom, I pay attention to that. The bathroom's down there, I check on it a couple of times a day, and for a public restroom, it's very clean. It's very, very, very clean. Let's say possibly more signage. I know we have the sign, the green sign across the street in front of Vero, those the bathrooms. We had something of that nature even on the other corner. When they're walking by, we get a lot of people always asking about public restrooms, and we actually have a good one and a clean one. So that's it. I look at trash and I grade bathrooms on my free time.
Cracks in the sidewalk.
And cracks, that's your job. You do the cracks. That's how
Trustee Miller.
I do have something.
Okay.
So I know that the meeting for the DRI is on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I went around on Saturday just to try to get some people to go, and a lot of people didn't know that it was happening. And when I sent an email to Dan, he showed me all the ways that he's trying to outreach to everyone to let them know, but still people aren't hearing those things. And so I wanted us to maybe consider some different options to get information out to the public, but also to the businesses, because even the businesses didn't know that the DRI meeting was going on. So I just feel like our form of communication with our community is maybe outdated. He said he posted on Facebook, but then I've had people tell me oh, well, can't they post something on Facebook? So even when the post comes out, what you see at once and then it falls, I don't have Facebook, so it must fall to the bottom of your feed. I know an email list, I was thinking.
Well, if they're not, also if they don't like our page. it's not
Right.
automatically
Follow
come
the
up.
page,
right.
Yeah, follow.
But I just feel like we're missing information as far as public input about what we do here and the events that we have. I mean, I've had several people come to me and say that they didn't like Americade, but they feel that they have no way to say that. And I know that we have these meetings at 4:30, but it's challenging for people to get to them. I mean, I myself had to change my work schedule. So, and then we've had businesses that said, depending on the setup of our events, are they getting business or people not seeing them. I even thought like going by our Shepherd's Park businesses today, like they sell food. And is that affecting businesses near them as far as like if people are getting food at events, are we then limiting the amount of people going into our businesses? So I just wonder, like, I feel like we need to set up a way where we can hear people's concerns, or they feel that they can talk to us a little bit easier. You know, Warren County sends out like a weekly newsletter through email. And that's how I know about all my Warren County.
You know, the DRI has been moved out to a different location.
And that's the issue too, is that the email just came out like 10 minutes or 10 minutes before this meeting, right? That it got moved. So we've just posted everywhere that it's at,
The Towers Hall.
Yeah.
Now it's not.
and now it's somewhere different. And so we don't have like a quick way to be like, hey, everybody, it's changed. You know,
Need something that goes.
right. Like that, and that's what, when I went around and told people that it was at the carriage house, they're like, oh, amazing. Like, I'm gonna go because I want to see the carriage house.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
was
have.
part of the reason
That
they
was-
put it there.
Right, but I don't have a way to like connect to those people to say it's not at the carriage house anymore, because it was just people that were outside their houses, and I printed out a bunch of those flyers and I was like, please go to this, please go to this. I talked to some business owners, they were like, I didn't even know we were doing the DRI. So it's just like, there's a huge lack of like our communication with our community.
In some respects, you're absolutely correct. So what we've found over the years is people get into a tunnel vision.
Yeah.
Especially business owners, because you know, it's getting busy now. Jose. No, pay attention, that's kidding. You get into business mode and you don't really, you don't, and even some residents, like when I was campaigning and going around, they're like, oh, I didn't know there was an election. Yeah, well, that's why I'm here to tell you. So I think part of it's on our part as elected officials to solve this equation, and I'm more than happy to try to obtain an email list or see where we could source one from. We have
What about the radio ads that we?
the radio
Wall, with wall.
with Walt.
And that's again, like another dated form, like there's a group of people that listen to radio, but there's a lot of people that stream their music.
Well, this is streaming too. Like
But-
George Radio is streaming.
Right, I mean, myself, I listen to iTunes music. I mean, I don't listen to radio, I don't do anything else but iTunes music, so I would be a lost person that would never hear that. So I just say like, as like your community changes with ages, like their like form of communication, I don't have Facebook.
Oh.
Everyone has Facebook. I don't have Facebook. I'm the youngest person here. I don't have Facebook. I don't even know how Facebook works. So I'm just, you know, I'm just saying, I think there needs to be some different forms.
Yeah.
I have 7 emails, you know, so I'm always looking at email. I check email like twice a day, you know, more than twice a day, like a week. The email's connected to my account.
Is it on the reader board in the park? The,
Well, the DRI
That-
information isn't on that. That's, I hate that reader board, to be honest with you. It's a
Who looks
limited
at it?
amount of information that you can put on it. But our,
Same thing with the county, I mean, chamber,
The
they
chamber.
got theirs up there, but.
It's on the chamber.
You can barely read it, 'cause it goes
you read it, you're going by at 40 miles an hour.
You know,
And I love the way Warren County does it. That newsletter that I signed up for comes to my email once a week. I read it. It sends links to everything that they're doing. I feel like I'm up to date on what Warren County is doing.
it's been in the Post-Star,
Yeah, it has
the
been.
DRI.
Again.
If there was a flyer on the window at Stewart's, a lot of people would see that probably.
well,
Well, we can always ask Warren County. too.
You can always
Do
ask
that
Warren
list.
County, add our information to it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I think that we should try to figure out a way to start compiling that as well. Because again, like residents, I feel like they want to have input but they can't be here. And they email, I mean, even Marissa's email, you know, that people come to her and tell her that their concerns, you know, we should have a way that they feel comfortable coming to us and telling us their concerns.
no, we get correspondence and
Yeah.
they're shared here.
I get quite a bit of emails.
So, I mean, you know, they do reach out, we have in the past, you know, we've had emails when we were doing the business district, that was that. Everyone, we sent out letters, we sent out any kind of communications. and-
We've done everything the
and
carrier.
20 people show up out of 150.
Yeah, but that, I
You
mean,
know, it's
it's hard
again,
to show up to the meetings. I think that's what my.
Well, yeah, but these weren't 4:30 meetings. These were 6 o'clock meetings. These were.
These were
you
evening
know,
meetings at the firehouse, we had them.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, and I'm not saying that it's useless, but no, we have done everything, if anything basically important.
Yeah.
Again, if you want to make it, you make it.
And I'm not
Find a way
saying
if it's important to you.
that we haven't tried, and maybe I'm an outlier, but I would say that when I wasn't on the board, there were a significant amount of meetings that I wanted to come to that I just couldn't because my hours were 8 to 7, and it seemed like every meeting was on Monday and Wednesday.
That's terrible.
Right, but 2 days a week, but that's the reality of people's work schedules. You know, no one's 8 to 4. I mean, people are, but not a lot of people are like 8 to 4. I mean, you had said the other day, what, you woke up at like 2:30?
Oh,
to be
yeah,
able to
well,
come
I'll
to
be
a
up at 12:30 this morning, go down to
Right.
city tonight, so it's.
Yeah.
It's like
You know.
no one has, I mean, not no one, I should say, people have set work hours, but I feel like in this day and age, they're more fluid and sometimes people just can't make it to meetings.
That's the upside to the.
It's the upside to-
Yeah, and then
Just watch the meeting on the
Well, to
time.
the Zoom as well.
Yeah.
Zoom all of
We zoomed a lot of meetings through COVID, and then this is where we now YouTubing because we wanted available. You know,
That's
through
anytime.
John Roots, leadership to that.
What about the firemen's meter board? That was a nice spot to be able to. put
Yeah,
some
we
information
can
on
always
that.
reach out to Donnie if we wanted to put something on there to get some information out.
Be all right.
But I mean, aside from our website, our Facebook page, I mean, an email blast would be good if we add ourselves to and insert some links onto the county's email list. That might help.
Yeah, and maybe like in that, we could tell people to add themselves or give us their email so that we can start doing our own email. So that we have a way of accumulating.
Yeah, I
Promote
know
it somehow.
Gina's got
Yeah.
something at the chamber with, what is it, a job?
There's, yeah,
Job form?
Job form.
She says that's a super easy way. You might want to reach out to Gina. Do you know Gina? That's right.
I don't know Gina.
Should
I
be.
feel like she was here for one.
She's been here, yeah, but I mean, she's got a lot of solutions, so.
Yeah.
I will appoint you the chairman of that committee.
To get emails.
To get, yeah, get communication out.
Well, find out the way we can start something.
Yeah, no, just, yeah, you want to do some
Sure.
research.
You
I
know, we're
appreciate it.
hiring new staff members. of the village hall.
Also, I guess it's my turn now. I
Yeah.
also wanted to talk about trees.
Yeah.
We're looking to, personally want to get more trees replaced that have been taken down. Keith and I discussed it last week, and there's a few different varieties of trees that are better suited for street trees than the choke cherries that we got when we did the
Talking Canada.
Canada Street. There's 17 tree pits that are treeless.
That's bad.
And, one thing people love is a pretty shade tree. And to get mature trees that grow fast, you either gotta get an invasive species or spend a lot of money. There is a tree program that National Grid used to do, and I wanted to see if anybody wants to volunteer to do any research on that. They'll provide trees, and a specific type of tree that will only grow 30 feet tall, so it stays under the power lines. But it's National Grid has a program. There's also Warren County Soil and Water is another group that made some tree recommendations. We've gone to Bob's Trees, which is in
Galway.
Galway. And then Judy sent me a nice email this weekend. She did a quick tree survey of the village. And there's some trees that are dying and need to be taken down before they fall down, basically. But we want to replace them. We're a tree city with the town of Lake George. I want to act like it. Any ideas, any and all ideas, I'll take recommendations on to get us in a better status with our trees and street trees.
So we would contact National Grid.
Yeah, I started messing around on, I'll forward you the emails that Julie sent me. There's a
Okay.
guy in charge of, if you're willing to
Sure.
do some, thank you.
You're looking at.
Well, you are Parks and Rec, so that falls hand in hand. Thank you for doing that. Shit, I'll forward you those 2 emails from
Okay.
Judy though.
We're looking for trees.
Well, I don't know how many we can get. I wanted to start with a dozen.
If we get 10, I think we'll be lucky.
Yeah,
For different
Yes,
species.
we have some money in the budget,
$10,000.
about $10,000. And you might be able to find more. I mean, we had a banner where winter with parking.
I got a shovel.
Yeah, the shovel and the
Get some volunteers.
walk in the woods. But thank you for indulging me on that. Does anyone have anything else?
This time.
Take a motion to adjourn.
So.
Order.
Signing, you done over here?
Yes, please sign the books.
Right on the bottom right to end.
You mean other than the daughter